But when I hit to this side of the body, I hit here, not here. What part of the body is closest to me right now? Wrong. The back side is. This is the furthest away. And this is the closest to the front of the body. Why? Because this is past tense. Make sense? This is over with. So if I manipulate the retracting side, he goes to punch again, that continues the swing, doesn't it? Now he's here. This is the other thing that drives me nuts when I see a guy now who's teaching this pressure point kill and all this stuff. I didn't say that. But he's totally wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's blasting the body, he's breaking bone, he's crushing nerve endings. That is not tuite. Tuite punch is learning about the body strike to where you can manipulate the centers and meridians of the body with very little pressure. Okay, what is that doing to you right now? He has to get up. As he gets up, which way are you going? Down. What are you going into though as you try to get up? My finger will go right through his neck. That's tuite. Not. So you went down. That's dumb. Anytime you expose the body to be damaged or punched, and you go boom, blast it like that, and you don't know the guy's history, you're going to kill somebody. Just like, again, if you work massage, you work the restorative arts, you have to understand what we call Boshin, Bunshin, Munshin, Setsushin. Those are the tools of diagnosis. You have to have the arts of observation. You have to learn to discuss with the patient. You have to know their history. If you don't know those things, this guy can have a real bad fall. He might have diabetes. You manipulate certain meridians, certain parts of the body, you're going to kill him. That is dangerous stuff. That's what I'm waiting to happen. And at any time now, that guy's going to do that. And what is really amazing to me is how students will allow somebody to do that to them. You never do it to me, man. I'm a block. And goodbye. Okay, guys, go ahead. Go outside. Let your body relax. I forgot what I said. Get to go.
Can't change dates.
Okay, all right. You guys are wondering what we're doing? Okay. All right. Keep your body relaxed, okay? Keep your body relaxed and kick. Simple. Okay, go ahead.
You're kicking?
No, I might try that.
Okay.
That's it.
You just hit me.
Yeah, there you go.
No, just
You do not leg stretch.
Okay. They're not relaxing this part.
That's hard to do. I got no back. I got no back. Then I know if I'm doing it wrong because I never refuse. Some of you from the left side.
Okay, have fun. What do you think? Was it fun?
I'm sure you had like that.
Oh, the arrow's coming.
I'm never going to get
It's
this.
going okay. I'm getting about an hour and 32 minutes. I can use clips and all on
Yeah.
video.
It's got that road out there.
Out here.
And it looks like it's coming in from the
So
side.
you won't have like this.
Right? But then it comes out.
Okay.
I'll
It says it goes up and
on.
down.
Actually recorded onto a...
Right. Stop.
No, wait. What am I doing? Are you okay? Sure.
When you bring that meridian straight, and then I just pivot and hit.
Well, you can't. The thing is, too, like, let's say,
Yeah, listen, I got my hair.
I want to see what you're going to do. If I bring my knee way up.
Partner?
He needs a partner because I'm over here.
See, I'm Roger.
Jason, you do it. Let me try.
Cameron, kind of. So I ain't gonna do no jazz.
Like, for instance, I'm going to throw a front kick at you. If I just change my ankle, my ankle here, watch where my leg goes. Here. My ankle will go back to the front, and it's actually straight. That doesn't look right.
People want to go up and study, and that means providing them information from everything from the beginnings and goes through this big struggle of preservation together. So that's what we're doing. So, anyway, to join the organization, what it is this. Monetarily, it costs, like for people under black belt, it would cost $29 a year. Black belts and over, $39 a year. And with it, you receive newsletters. Like any of you guys have joined up this weekend, I've brought newsletters for you. You would receive certification of membership. You would receive, like let's say if you're part of the Kosho dojo, you have to become a member to be able to receive certification or rank. The reason for that is so we keep track of things because, an example, one time when I was in Kansas, I was in Wichita, and I go by a place and there was a Shochiku by my window. It's the Kosho symbol. So I pulled over, I had my guy pull me over and we went into the dojo and I asked the guy who he trained with, he says, he told me it was Bruce Jennings' top black belt. And I said, oh, that's good. And what had happened, the guy had been reading about it in a magazine, so he used the name and stuff. This is, I think, part of why Zane's doing the thing, but it's not wrong that he's doing it. But he does have a legitimate claim because of Eli, so he's okay. But when I see the symbol of this on top, see, that was just recently changed. Kosho's order to me to do that. But this guy, no, this guy is nowhere near Zane's ability. Nowhere near. But anyway, so I gave my card, so I shook his hand, says, yeah, I'd love to see him last night, and I forgot what you look like. I walked out, and he just went. Well, this kind of thing happens, so, and this is one reason Kempo is such a mess it is today. If you guys think about it, if one of you guys left here, now Madison, Wisconsin, is a little bit more civilized than Dodge City, Kansas, or in some other place, maybe in Mississippi or whatever, you could very easily go down there, put on a 6-degree black belt, everybody believe in you if you know how to throw a basic punch kick, right? Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that do that. So, what we do, black belts, we're trying to help out all of the other martial artists. So, when somebody joins, oh, the other way you can join is, and this is advisable, is if you, it's advisable for me, helps me out in our organization, in more ways than one. I'm lazy, I don't like doing a lot of paperwork. So if somebody joins as a lifetime member, they pay us $150 a year for signing up for life, which you get benefits. But black belts, you receive certification like this. What you do is provide the Kai with your certification copy of it. And we provide it in our archives. As long as we trace that lineage back to Mitosi, which of all our groups can be traced back to Mitosi. Then all this is not certificate of rank in Kosho. This is, can you read it? That's what I thought. See, that's why you want to learn, okay? So this says sweet and sour, and but what this does, this gives you acknowledgement of the rank that you have within your system, which gives you basically a legitimate connection with Kempo, which is technically, like I said, all black belts. We Kempo are not black belts because Chow was never past the first degree. That was a realization that I came to when I was there, and I go back to my guys go, oh. So that's what this does, okay? So the 150 for lifetime membership, you get a gold card. But on my videos, you get benefits. Like for instance, the videotapes in the magazine are $49.95. Regular members, they're $29.95. Lifetime members, all tapes are $20. When I do seminars, lifetime membership, what I'm doing too, will give you your first year of subscription to the video magazine, which is a very neat name, Electro Magazine. How many of you guys have that? You've got a mic, right? Electro. What Electro Magazine is, some of it's got technique in it, but they're interviews I do with people all over the world, top martial artists. You get to hear them talk about the history of their art. You get to hear them talk about what they don't like about students. And why that's really important, because you're going to hear every one of them say the same thing, and I don't lead them on with it, but they're leading questions because I know the answer to it. Geez, Tony, what's the one thing that drives you nuts about students? They just won't listen to the important things. I try to tell them the concept. Really, it's so important. Oh, it's a technique. Or in Cyrus, the shopping center. What do you know about shopping center? He says, and this is something I always go to. I'm gonna bring this up and see if any black belts can relate to it. Student comes into your school and starts studying. Some of you students are gonna relate to this. Student doesn't come to class for a week, 2 weeks. Maybe they've got something else going on in their life. Maybe they had to go to a wedding or something or whatever. So a week and a half go by, and then the student starts coming with guilt because he didn't in class. See, so then he said, well, I'll stretch it out another week, and maybe we'll notice. So then by the second week goes by, then he's really feeling guilty, and he's kind of almost in hiding. Then what the student does, 3 more weeks go by, and he still isn't in class, and the teacher then calls him up, and he doesn't come to the phone because anybody to know. So then one day, what happens? About 2 months later, the student doesn't realize he's still isn't in class, so then he has to conjure in his mind why it's the teacher's fault that he hasn't been in class. Then, you walk in the shopping center one day and you see this guy, by this time you haven't seen him in about 8 months, and you just got done spending maybe a lot of time with this guy, maybe gave him a year, year and a half of your time, and there's a lot of, believe it or not, you guys, there's a lot of more that, a lot of love that's put into students. I mean, you love what you do. I'm sure Mike loves what he does and he loves his students. I myself am the same way. So you want to see the student say hi, because you already know what he's already gone through. The student doesn't know that you know that because of course, you got to be done. Then they're hiding from you. And you're going, God, I just gave this guy a year or 2 years of my time, and he's... Then finally you say, geez, and this is what the students always tell you, once you catch them. You know, I'm just thinking about calling you, you know? God, I'm sure glad I ran into you. Said, God, I was going to come in tomorrow. Have you guys ever heard that?
Oh, yes, sir.
I've done the same routine. So students, be more creative. Think of something a little bit different than that one, because we've all heard that, okay? But you'll hear these guys talking about all this with the students and the teachers. Anybody ever here do that?
What's that?
And you guys ever do that to your teachers? Oh, come on, you had to. Huh? Yeah, sure, you had to. Oh, get out of here. Sure. It's just an all common thing, you know. So you'll hear all these guys talking. And I get a kick out of interviewing these guys, like Galano Nanoy, the Filipino Arts, so anyway, Electro Magazine is about between an hour and a half to 2 hour long each tape. And you'll get 12 tapes over a period of a year. So for $150 lifetime membership, 12 Electro Magazines is 12 tapes, plus and every tape is $20 to you. And so if you guys want to do that, and then you'll get information for the guy and stuff. And then if I think Mike is going to start stocking the tapes and stuff, so you could probably either get them through here. If you don't have them, you can send them to the guy, and that's what you get as a lifetime member. And this is kind of a neat thing. So I've done that. This is what our black belt certification looks like. This is old kanji, or katakana, so you won't be able to read it unless you learn. And what happens, you'll seal here and here, half of it's on a book, so it will make sure that nobody forges. And this is my name in kanji, which is Chukuniku. Now you guys understand the difference between phonetic language and the kanji is? If you use a term like Kempo, Kempo could mean several things. You don't really know until you look at the kanji. You guys understand that? Jukuniku could mean he who has big feet. Which I got big feet, but that's not what this one means. Jukuniku, so in other words, they took my name and developed kanji had to supposedly support my personality. I could really go over a lot on that, but I won't. So what it supposedly says, it says he who is twice learned, who has achieved. And that's what that means. Okay. Who has matured, who has twice learned and achieved. That's my name, that's what it means. In Polish, it means animal blood.
Which means,
Huh?
it's Czernina.
Is what it read?
It's blood. Polish for blood.
Yeah. And so basically I come from a line of butchers. He who deals in dead meat, which is one of the lowest scum, dirtbag, I could have been. So don't tell anybody I said that though. Okay, but if you guys join the Kai, if you go lifetime member, you get a national IKSA thing, your thing for electro, and you guys get the tapes here, then $20. And that's a good deal. Okay? And the tapes, why don't you go through the names, Mike, and I'll explain briefly what they are, okay?
Blocking?
Blocking is conceptual understanding of using blocks, so it's not just block A, B, C. It tells you some of the things we're doing today with that, okay? It's all conceptual. Go ahead.
Introduction?
Intro deals with a basic introduction of what Kosho is all about. It's got an octagon, it's got a lot of history in there, difference in kicking, striking, a lot of things. Okay.
Shiatsu?
What color is it?
There's one in green and one in...
Green is basic point, they're basic, okay? The next one is on, Shetsu 2 is a basic body massage, back and front, that you can practice in class. It deals with some of the Jin Shindo, or point release points, basic theory. And then the third one is more advanced. It deals with how to enter into more points, and it deals with a lot of hamstring full releases and basic limb application, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Basai?
Basai is one of the katas we do, Basai Dai, but it deals with Otoko no Ateni, the Bunkai is Otoko no. That is a male percussion striking. Now, I will say this on the Basai tape, very good tape. The sound's a little bit screwed up, but I didn't want to redo the tape because of the uki that I was using, which is Pat Kelly. So I don't rehearse any of this stuff. And the male percussion strikes, and you really wallop somebody with that, they'll die. And he almost did. And you'll see the ground wall. I guess all kinds of stuff. It's a good tape, yeah.
Game?
Game deals with the leaning factor, posture and positioning, the lead beta guy striking and punching, okay?
Juni Ippo?
Juni Ippo is the first kata you learn in Kosho. And that kata origin comes from the source is actually Chojin Chibana. Chibana taught a man named Yoshiro Konishi. Chojin Chibana was connected directly with a guy named, I almost said Yagi Minonoi, but no. I want to say Maguni, but no. But anyway, from Konishi then to Trias, and Trias then to Mitosi in the early days, in the 40s, and I never knew that. And just before Trias died, he asked me to preserve the form because Mitosi learned it from Trias, and he couldn't use a Shorei system because of it being associated with Yabu. Kensu Yabu, that was that. Okay?
Keys?
Keys. There's 6 tapes, keys 1, 2, and 3, which cover the gamut on conceptual teachings and study. It is based on 6 seminars I did, and it is some real deep stuff in them. Keys 5 is one of the excellent tapes in that. Keys 1, 2, 3, we cover kata bunkai, all kinds of stuff on those forms. Very good tapes, yeah.
Freezing?
Skeletal freezing, that's how to create a state in the body where a guy can't move his body without really grabbing. So he goes to move. I did a little bit of this as usual. Did you feel that? Down 7 so you couldn't impress your posture. Okay? That's one of the best tapes.
Naihanchi?
Naihanchi is one of the most traditional forms that is ever done. The Naihanchi kata in Japanese Shotokan is called Teiki. In the Korean arts they call it Naifanchi. And it's a line kata, and you'll see bunkai in it that you wouldn't see in any other Japanese form. Bunkai is very different than all the katas. Go ahead.
Pinan 1 through 5?
Pinan 1 through 5, the first 5 pinans in Koshuru, and that covers some bunkai in those forms. You're going to see some different type of rotation with a hip and ankle. That's not necessarily the only way we do the form, but I do that so you guys can see how the maneuvers take place. But that's a good tape to have.
Bunkai 1 through 5?
Bunkai is nothing but bunkai in the first 5 katas. You'll see me elaborate on this movement, and then it's going to look like it's something totally different. You're going to look at me and think, he's nuts. What are you doing with that? If you look real close, and you see all of this in it. Okay?
Weaponry 2?
Weaponry 2 is on the use of the boken, or the sword. And it deals with offsetting your body posture to where no matter how a guy can move with a blade, you can counteract. It's a real good weapon score.
Nikobuto kata?
Nekoburo is a cat dance form. Now, those are 3 of the forms: the Pinan katas, the Basai, and the Naihanchis. And the Kusanku and all those forms come through in the Kosho that comes through Bobby Lowe. Bobby Lowe was one of the first 5 black belts under Mikosi in Hawaii. Bobby Lowe went with Masayama. When Mikosi left Hawaii, Hamisham, who was the head of the official self-defense club, wanted to use Monkata and asked permission from Mikosi to use the Kyokushinkai kata, which is the same as Shotokan. However, the bunkai in these forms are totally different. So that's where those forms come in. Nekoburo, there's 3 Nekoburo katas. They got in through us. I did not learn them from Mikosi where he was. I learned these forms from Trias. Trias have learned them from Mikosi. And you'll see where even some of the katas that have been adapted, some of the glory system will almost look Nekoburo. You have a lot of this. You guys have that, right? This type of thing. You'll see some of that They mean cat dance forms. They were called nekobudo because of, they come from Mitosi, but also because Mitosi had a great fondness for a Japanese practitioner by the name of Gogi Yamaguchi. What do they call him? The cat dance. Okay, so you see a lot of cat-type movements, and then the bunkai is very different. Go ahead.
Slip punch?
Slip punching is one of my faves. That is how to get maximum power from a small rotation with a hand, but it looks like you're accomplishing the same thing as this distance, and you're actually at that distance, but it's real hard to see. But it's, and we're going to cover some of this today. Go ahead.
Creative blocking.
Creative blocking is, I called it in a couple of points here, it's almost mastering puppet maneuvers on the human body with your hands when you do a block. Create one blocking motion, you can set up a lot of different modes. Did you get that tape here? No?
No,
Okay. Go ahead.
Naihan no?
Naihan is Mitosi's Naihanchi. How many of you guys ever saw the text by Bruce Haynes, History and Traditions of Karate, U.S. History and Traditions? Has a whole chapter on Kosho in that book. And an interview with Mitosi where he refers to the Naihanchi of Kosho is much different than the other Naihanchi because because of the philosophy behind it. Naihanchi kata is formed on a line. It's a line form or wall form where you're attacked by several opponents at once. You cannot get hit if you do Naihan. Your opponents will constantly be running into each other. You'll always be out and have the ability to escape or totally destroy. So you'll never get hit by them. If you follow his laws. It's a very awkward looking form. Looks like this. You mostly see a lot of monkey. Go ahead.
Arnis?
I've got 3 Arnis tapes based on the Serata system, 12 pares, Bifundo, and the Largamano systems. They are Serata schema. It starts off, and then you'll see other things, also with the Decadina style within that. And the Filipino arts, totally different than Kempo. So you want to see my Kempo and see your Filipino shot. Okay.
Kosho Gary?
Geri is kicking. Now, stuff I was doing, you guys on kicking is in there. It's all conceptual. Go ahead.
En no Gyo?
The no-gyo are the 3 monkey forms. En no-gyo means monkey, and they are forms and katas that will look like karate, some of them real pretty, and then when you see the bunkai, you'll say, but then the bunkai looks like a monkey. Anybody seen those forms? You seen those tapes? Yeah. You like them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Applicable to the street.
Huh?
Real applicable stuff.
Oh, it'll work.
Well,
Yeah.
keeps you relaxed.
Somebody might laugh at you because you look like a monkey, but you're taking his banana.
They do that anyway.
Go ahead.
The Gathering 1993?
The Gathering?
Yep.
All right, The Gathering is the first volume of the seminar that Sensei just went through and stuff, and you'll see Cyrus on that one, you'll see Santana. You won't see them all because that's volume 1. Okay, keep going.
Joe 2?
Joe 2 is another form on the Joe weapon. It's more advanced than the first Joe form, and that will show you a lot of stuff on weaponry. I'd love to be able to work you guys on Joe if we don't have it. You know what a Joe is? Sword staff. It's about like that. It's my fave, man. You give me a Joe in my hands and I'll whip the world with it. Or I'll go for a nice hike.
Weaponry?
Weaponry 1 is dealing with knife, how to use and the fighting against knives, all kinds of weapons, and see conceptual application of it.
Weaponry 2?
Weaponry 2 is a sword. I think you already been there.
Throwing?
Throwing, basis for the folding arms and throwing and grappling. Yep.
Ona?
Ona is one of the best tapes. The Ona no Atemi, female percussion striking and throwing. That is one of the first ones I ever did, and that blows a lot of people's minds. It's a very good tape.
Okay. Kusaoku?
Kusanku, 2 of the traditional forms that you see in Japan. It's also called Kankudai Kankusho. Again, Otoko no Atemi is used, male percussion.
Okay. Controversy?
Controversy deals with all the Kempo styles and systems. And I cover everybody there from Chow to Parker to Valari to Serial to Connors. And what I do in there is I don't say anything bad. But what I do is kind of give them all the reasons why they did what they did. So that the person watching it doesn't get mad at whoever they're taking from. Just didn't know any better, at certain things. And you can't blame them. Okay, go ahead. That's a lengthy tape, but it kind of paints a picture. Well, why does this guy do this and this guy does this? So nobody gets her, excuse the expression, nobody gets her panties in a bunch. Okay, well, this guy did this and this guy did that because he didn't know any better. You can't get mad at him. You know? Yeah, go ahead.
Dojo?
Dojo is on Rishiki, etiquette, the proper etiquette in the traditional school. And would you guys want to cover a little bit of that today? Okay, go ahead.
The Jo kata?
Jo kata is on the first form of Jo. It's got very nice, it's a nice kata form that we do in Kosho, and then applications of using the Jo. And I love the Jo.
That was the last one.
Oh, there's more of them than that, but that's good.
Well.
Let's stop there. Okay, you guys up? Okay. First of all, I don't know what, in your dojo, I'm just going to suggest this. What I'd like Mike to do is put together a kamiza for the school. Kamiza would be, anybody know what the term kamiza means? Yeah, kamiza literally means, or you can also call it tokonoma. It actually literally means high point of a school, or literally means seat of deity. But it comes from Shinto religion, and it goes to Buddhism in the Buddhist dojos or schools. In any traditional school, you'll see kamiza. Okay, you'll see a kamiza. It doesn't mean anything. Where it comes from, it means a lot though. But where it comes from is during the time of the daimyo. You guys know what daimyo means? Daimyo? It's okay. Daimyo was a lord. He was a fighter. He was like the lord of an area. Like say, Kako Koremasa was a daimyo of a noble castle. Say you went into their home. Well, first thing, could you get your sword? First thing you do, let's say if I walked into this daimyo's home. First thing, and say the kamiza was over here. I'd bow to the dojo. Then I bow and I look at kamiza. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at the swords. Now, kamiza, usually you see the densho of the home. Densho means legend. Okay? And a densho means what the mood is of the home. And the swords tell you a lot. So let's say if the swords and the handle was facing this way on kamiza, okay? Of course, this usually is drawn because of this type of blade this way, isn't it? Or is it not?
Yeah.
A katana would usually be here, though, okay? So I'll pretend it's a katana. Let's say if the handle was to the right. Anybody know what this means? It means you're in a place of a warrior. Don't screw with him, but he's at peace. If the blade and the handle was this way, this means that you're in a place of turmoil, and the Lord will do anything he can for peace, including leave himself defenseless, because you don't draw the blade with the left, you draw with the right. Now, if the blade, you notice even in Rishiki, you don't draw a blade this way. Why? That's right. You draw it here. Let's say if this was a family blade and exposed, okay, what does this mean? To the right. It means, if the handle's to the right, it means don't come in, man. They're going to kill you. If it is a family blade, and it's to the left, it's the greatest compliment you could have. Okay? So what you're doing is you're learning, and also like in basic Reishiki, let's say if I'm going to show, say this is my blade, and I'm going to show it to Sensei, and I want him to take my blade. What I would do is I would grab it here and here, blade facing me. He would grab and shake to make sure he's got it, and he would turn it towards himself. He would flip the blade around. He would take it. To do otherwise is disrespectful. And in a traditional dojo or traditional school, it's a big no-no. Now, good Aiki people would know this. Good people in karate and any martial arts are making sure the Kempo people know this kind of stuff, because Kempo is actually has more of a lineage in karate, in Shotokan, than many of the other forms. And I'll make sure that they know that. Okay, so say he's going to hand the blade back to me. So what he would do is this, shake it. Okay, I would take it, turn it. Then I want to bring it back. Okay, without doing so would be disgraceful. Okay, you guys understand? Okay, now, the other thing, I'm going to hand it back to Mike. I turn it and hand it to my left, not to my right. Why? I can't draw it then. It shows not ill intent. If I did it this way, You guys understand? So those things are all part of Rishiki, which is very, very important to know. It's very important to know. If you have a teacher, say if, Sensei? Over here. Yeah, okay, you guys, come on, how about you? And say these guys are talking, okay? And I'm going to walk in front of them. This is what you'll see in my dojo. You might have seen some of it when you're there. And I'm going to walk in front of them. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, now why did I do that? During the time where this tradition comes from is the samurai. If they're in a marketplace, I had a sword here. I'm going to walk in front of this samurai. And he's too stupid to kill me. He better. Now, I got to know that, so if I'm walking in front, taking my hand from my blade and exposing my hand to show that I have no ill intent. Because this is the kind of code that came from. Thank you. You guys understand? Okay, so you bow to Kamiza. You want to know the mood of the school and the densho. Also, usually what you'll see on a Kamiza, you might see a picture of a teacher. You might, and they're usually very plain. They're not cluttered up with a lot of junk and you don't see 6 guns and all this other stuff, wads of gum up on the Kamiza. That's very clean. It should be very clean area. Okay, in my Kamiza, I just have a photo of Mitoshi Sensei, and then I have a sword and a jo, and that's about it. Maybe some kanji or some writing. Okay, now, when you come in your dojo and then you come out. I don't know, do you guys do this with your obis? Maybe not. That's good with the sword sensei. Okay. So, what I do then, let's say if I come in front of you, and I'm going to come in my class, say the chair is the Kamiza, because I'm in a chair dojo. Okay? So what I'll do is, I'm going to begin my training. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to come down in Seiza, and my Seiza is awkward simply because of the fact I got a bad knee. I put my OB in front. Okay, from there I take my left hand, my right hand. Do you guys do this? I bow, up, right hand, left hand. You guys do the same thing? Yeah, well, we'll just show them. Now, what I did is I bowed with the left first and then the right. Then I put my obi on. Obi's not really supposed to hit the ground, but when you're as big as I am, sometimes you can't help it. Why the left and then the right? Well, when you bow a class in, which we'll show you guys in a second, and then what I do, left, right. And during this time, I'm taking my time, I'm thinking. I'm here to train. Then from there, I come back up in the Seiza, foot comes forward, slide back, like so. Now, we'll all bow in, okay? Guys line up. Teacher will come in, they'll say Shorei. So you're here. Okay, and then from here, this posture, it says up. So what you do is hands come here. You're gonna, I'll mirror you. Well, no, I won't mirror you. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna come, bring your right foot out slightly. And you look straight ahead at me. Come down just like so. Left knee comes forward. Back is straight. Was that you? That's a lie. Okay. And come around. Back is straight. Hands here. Okay? Now, don't go as wide as I am unless you've got a knee problem too. If you've got a knee problem too, that's okay. Legs should actually be in. Okay. Actually, your sense in this, I can say it better than I do. I really can't because, like I said, this baby will tweak on it. Now, I'm bowing to you, you're bowing to me. And you're bowing to me, say I'm the teacher. That means this is what you do. Both hands go out. Like so. And up. Then right hand back, then left. Now, the teacher, though, does left, right. Why? Sword. You want to show no ill intent. So both hands go out. You take both hands away from your sword. Your teacher. You guys understand? To do otherwise is disrespectful and would cost one of your fellow martial artists. Is your knees bother you? Okay, well, just get relaxed. Okay. Your teacher would get up, or the person next to you would kill you in Japan if you were with a knife. Okay, you get up, you bring your knees up, come up on the ball of the feet, right foot comes forward, hand here. Come forward up, back
straight, and back. And then out. Then we bow in. Right hand makes the fist. Okay? Now, if your head comes forward, it's respectful. So when you get in seiza, just watch. You get in seiza, it's here. What are you always doing? Stay. Okay? Always use a blade. Bring your head forward, you deserve to lose it. When I see Kempo guys doing this, I go, because what Kempo represents, this is what I'm trying to get the message across to everybody, whether they're Pilares, Suryo, or anything, you guys come from a richer history than what these guys are painting. These guys have no idea what a real, rich, beautiful history that they have, that they come from. Instead, they make up all this stuff. That's crazy, and it's sickening, it's sad. I used to do the same stuff. Did you guys hear the story about the symbol? It was in Chicago. This would have happened historically. I had a bunch of guys come out the hotel room from different Kempo schools, Parker, Tracy, and all this. And one guy said, Sensei, I think I found the first Chinese Kempo symbol ever. He says, it might be real old. And I looked at it, I said, no, no problem. Brings it out, and I start laughing. So we're laughing about it. I said, I made that up back in 1967, man. You know, before I ever met Mitoshi, I thought this little tiger would be real cute to put in this design. And the thing came back to haunt me. It's a symbol I made up. You guys understand? There were two pieces of kanji on it, and I had no idea what it said. I just said a little stick figures kind of look cool. So that's why, if you know better, don't screw it up, man. Study it. Okay, you guys understand what I just covered with Rishiki? Okay? Yeah. Oh,
No, I'm just
okay.
scratching.
Walk in front of the teacher, hand comes forward, hand down. That's all you do. When you come into a school, let's say a class is going on, you might do this. I don't know if you do. But let's say if Sensei is running class and you guys are coming in late, first thing you do, you go find a place, or I can't really do anything here. First thing I do is I do this. I sit. I don't move. When Sensei is ready to let me in class, he'll let me know. I don't move. And when he lets me in, okay, being student, and then what I do is I go as quietly as possible. Class is going in, I'll move around. Okay? You guys understand that? Do otherwise, it's disrespectful. Now, yeah.
Question, if you were to move around the class, do you still?
Oh, yeah. If there's class going on, sure. It's just the same etiquette. Other basic rishiki that you do, and you might have noticed some of it at dinner. Some of my guys are doing this, and I reached over and slapped Dave and said, Dave, come on. You don't eat before your teacher. You go out to dinner. If it's a martial function, you don't do it. That doesn't. As soon as they take a bite, then eat. Now, where that comes from, again, if one daimyo were to see another daimyo, he brought a samurai in, when is that daimyo vulnerable? Samurai doesn't move, he watches. Okay? Where the tradition is today is you guys are studying martial arts to study one thing, which will keep you through this whole world without ever having conflict, and that is awareness. So you become aware of everything. You take your time. Now, here's what we do. Kosho, my students would never eat before me. I always try to make them eat before me. My students will open up the door for me. What I do is I always open the door for them. So I pull rank on my students. I make them go before me. Guru Detwars and myself and Thomas Young once, we're in Chicago. We're going into the Oak Brook Hotel there. And myself and Guru and Thomas Young are going, no, you go first. You know, no, you go first. Now you go. Pretty soon a woman came by and said, really? Okay? The higher rank you are, the more you practice humbleness. The idea is, again, it's a beautiful art, rishiki, or etiquette, to learn manners, to practice your awareness. And so you want to practice it all the time, because it builds and heightens your awareness. It is not, you don't do all this stuff because your teacher is some big deal. That's not the way this stuff should go. Every time I teach and every time people want me to teach them, I feel privileged the fact that they want me to.
That, I owe them, they don't owe me. You guys understand that? I mean that. You guys are black belts, you're lucky that somebody wants to study. You owe them. Seriously. Your lower belts, I owe you. That's why I'm a teacher. Okay, and my idea is to give you all of the caring and love that I can. And that's what the black belts have to remember. Today what happens, when you got in martial arts school today, that's calm stuff. You guys got to grow up. Wake up, smell a cappuccino. We're all human, we're not working, we're going to bring us sand on the beach. And we have to always remember that. Okay, so that's why we do all this. Matosi told me, why do you bow? I swear you bow to pay respect to teachers. No, you're stupid. You bow because it's the most important self-defense technique you can ever learn. You're practicing humbleness and respect for all of them. That's why. You guys understand? Of course, in Japan, they had other meanings too, because of ancient life. Not today, but we still carry on the traditions. What else am I missing out? Okay. It's a little bit of Rishiki, there's a whole tape on that. And we're dealing with a lot of things. You guys understand? Okay, let's start here. Everybody says when I say it says up, okay? And we'll see how well you do. It says up. Go ahead. You guys go ahead. It says up. Not bad, not bad, not too bad, not too good. What's your attention? What's your focus? Sit back, hands here. Okay? Now, in some dojos, it is common to keep your hands up. You know what that is? Why? You're receiving knowledge, huh?
That's the empty hand show you nothing new.
No, you're receiving knowledge, information. This is also common, okay? All right, now when he says, Joey! Joey needs to get up. Everybody, bring your feet up together. Posture straight. Okay, right foot forward. Hand on the right leg. Lean forward and then back. Up. Good. You guys practice Iaido. Guess what you do? Iaido, say if I have my sword, you don't have a small blade. If you have your blade, you flick Hakima. Do you have both? Okay, yeah, what's your got it pretty good? Okay. So, in EI, that's part of your study. And then you're bowing to the blade, taking the blade out, putting it down to the side also shows no ill intent. Let's say if you have katana, what you're doing, you're flicking Hakima. That hand is right here. And what you do is you go through, you're bowing. You don't look at the blade. Doing this fast. At no time do you touch the blade. And you're working your yak. Clearing it from the side out. And you work your blade and you work your fence. Okay? Okay? Understand? Huh? Could you get hung up? It's like a big kulot. So you flick the hakima out and make sure you clear it. If you don't, you just kneel down. You David Longo, I don't know if you met David. Him and Nancy did a videotape. EIO demonstration. David did a funny EI thing for him. So here now she's falling over the blades, scooting on his skirt. Okay. You guys understand? Huh? Questions on that? Now all that does for you as a practitioner, it's going to give you respect from other practitioners. Any traditionalists who look at most Kempo schools very well. Now, and it shouldn't be because they got their stuff from us, not the other way around. But we can't forget that stuff, okay? All right. Well, let's go back to some of the stuff we're doing because that way we can finish off our hamburgers a little bit, and then we're going to move on to some other things. So, on all of this stuff with the tapes and all that, my books, if you want a book, they're $79.95, and then $3 of shipping, or, and then I also talk to Sensei, and then those things, they should be done before Christmas. This collector's edition sold out.
there's about 15 of those, they're like $175 now for the collectors. You don't need those, because the other ones would be the same looking book, same hardback, it just isn't numbered, okay? And I'll still sign it for you, so. But they're a very different book, and they're beautiful books. Aren't they nice? And look, they're pretty, huh? And what's in them is okay. Okay, let's do this. Did you guys like the kumite stuff we were doing? Okay. Did you? I want you to work a couple more seconds on the kick, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to counter all kicks and punches in kumite. All of them. Show you how to do them all, okay? And very simple. It's all in the book. What we're going to do is let's work the kicks, and what I'm going to do then is, okay, let's say if I'm in this posture with him, okay. Well, let's do the kicks first. Well, we have all you're going to do that is good. You're stretching. So we're going to spend 5 minutes doing this again. Work your kick, bring it up, and like I said, and then this time I want you to shoot up and over, or shoot down, okay? Now you see what I'm doing with the kick too? It's more of a thrust. You hear? So I'm not cocking it way out. See what I'm doing? Of course here, and then up and down. Same thing with the body. It's up and then down. Okay? That's how it's doing. Got it? Do that in a couple seconds. I'm going to show you some magic. Okay? Work. Go ahead.
Okay, you go first.
All right. Next week in Oregon.
It's busy.
Yeah, very much so. Every day.
You spun it, huh?
My days are my traveling.
Yeah, leave it. Do it again.
Well, Cracksburg takes you carrying on one to each one day, between 2 days in a hotel where I get to watch my cable, catch the old John Lennon play, or my favorite sex which is like to love you, Lord. You know she? Yeah. That is a sex system I never watched. Hello. See what you do. Yeah, I like it. Relax, upper body, relax. Have them up here and then let them float it in front of the kid. Just for now, this you would constrict.
Sir, that's a hard time to tell me.
He didn't get it here.
I think it's last school. Just relax. Just relax. Oh, really? If you're moving, see, sometimes if you're moving people a little bit, it's good to keep the hands. Just relax. You're slow. Just keep it here.
Okay.
Sir,
Just relax.
Huh? Down there.
I know. Exactly.
How are you doing, guys?
On my way down.
Just been watching the Chinese characters.
It's slower.
That's it.
Huh?
Right. That's good.
That one worked.
No, it wasn't my turn.
Yeah. Sorry. No, that's okay. It's stupid. Yeah. I don't know that you'd actually work out for it before.
No, do it again. Because you know what? You put this book up here, and it gives them, give the illusion of like, gonna throw the side kick.
Yeah.
Now do it again.
Yeah, okay.
And your foot isn't coming up for you.
Okay.
Remember how his foot?
Oh, you're right, the body.
Right?
The body.
I don't mind that. It's good to get your
Good. Wait, let's sit there.
Should work the weakest side, especially mine.
Oh, shopping center?
Oh, sure.
Go check.
You guys, just change the kick a little bit. You guys all face the direction. How do you guys throw it? You guys do a spinning hook. Yeah. Spin hook. You see you guys do that. Everybody stands. Everybody stands. Make sure the person in front of you, you're not gonna hook something. You know? All right.
You heard it?
All right. When I say kick, okay, ready? Yeah, you're gonna. No traffic jams, you guys. Okay. Don't kick the guy in front of you. Ready? Roll's nice. Nice leg there. Ready? Okay. Now, when you guys throw a hook, try this. This is just a little bit different. Stand right here. Now when you get to turn your head down, okay? Bring your foot around. Okay? See what I'm doing now? I got the head down. Okay? So what you're doing is bring it up and around, right at the end. Bang! Okay? You'll feel like you're going to hit the dust, but you're not. I don't think.
It's like a wheel kick.
You do it? It's a different kind of kick. What's nice about it, looks like I'm doing what? Slender.
Going away.
Yeah, see? I'm doing this. Leg comes up over. Okay? Try it. Billy Jack special. So what you're doing is you're bringing your hand down. Now this is close to a capoeira kick. Brazilian.
Oh, yeah.
What they'll do is here, almost looking underneath that arm, see? Okay? Just try it. Don't hit each other. Okay? Watch your difference.
I'm gonna go inside.
I'll do it in here. Do it out there.
Ready? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Wait. Ready? Hey! Okay, I know. Hey!
No room. Take the camera on.
Hey! One more time. Hey! Okay. That's just food for thought, okay? Put your head down as you guys practice those things. Capoeira actually come down now. Got one hand on the ground. Okay, now, Joel. What I want you to do, we're going to work on this motion, okay? See this? You guys do this? Not too bad. You did pretty good, okay. Your right hand, what I'm doing is I'm lining up my elbow. This is a zigzag again. And lining with this hip. My right hand is aligned with this hip. Now, what you do is you move twice. So what I want Joel to do, first of all, do that roundhouse kick to my back side of my head. Yeah, really? No, this one. Oh, okay, here. It doesn't matter. Or throw this one here. I don't care. Don't hit me though. Okay, go ahead. Let's kick. Again. Were you using your right or your left when you guys were doing the drills? Right. Okay, and the left foot lead, it doesn't matter. No, put your left foot behind the right foot lead. Okay, just do a scoop kick. Go ahead. Remember I told you guys about learning to see without looking. Now, what we're doing when you're posturing or in a position with an opponent, okay, he goes to kick. Go ahead. What you're doing is you move twice. You see where he's at? All I'm doing is a zigzag here, anytime. What happens? Okay, now this time kick to the other side. What happens? What am I doing?
Catching them in transition.
Huh?
Catching them in weightless state.
What, no, well, two things. I'm doing a zigzag. Slow motion. Backer. That doesn't matter. What you're doing is this, right away. It's not a preset thing. What you see a lot of karate schools, show roundhouse here. You see this kind of thing. Right? That's cute, but you know what kick this guy's using. So this posture, as a man moves, all you're doing is moving twice. Second step, I step twice. First movement is here. It's actually two. There's actually enough three. The right hand's here. This signifies my first cutting angle, see? Look at a triangle, give me this after. That's already stepped. This is where my hand is. This is my ankle. Not here. He's focused here. He isn't on here. When I lean, when I step, you see, so I'm technically there's 2 steps. Okay, so as this man moves, all I have to do is move on movement. See where I'm at? If he, from this posture, if I were to hit or punch, it's going to happen. Bang. Now, any kick. All right, this way, you know. Am I taking on body mass? No, because I'm doing this. You guys understand? Huh?
I'm not getting the first block, so.
I'm not trying to block. All I'm doing is when I see movement, 1, 2. Just start angling. You guys, it is a natural thing for me to step, for me to walk. I want to walk straight ahead. Watch my hips. There's no such thing as a straight line. As we remember that. Nobody here can move in a straight line. To the angle? No. What makes you think that he's going to move in a straight line? So if you already have your angle set up, and you move twice, and he moves with a kick, what happens to him? He runs in, you lose. Okay? But it doesn't matter to go. Okay, it doesn't matter what he does, even if he uses his hands. Anything he does. Now, if I look at his punch when it comes in, what angle are you actually at? See the shakes? He wants to hit me? Aren't I not at a 90? 245 is equal what? 90. Okay, I rest my case, man. See that? Okay? So in Kumite, if you had a karate guy, and he wants to hurt you, and he throws a kick, and you're going, doing all this, that's dumb. You just want to set up and do him in, he moves, this is what you do, right there. Look at the angle. Feel that? You see? And the problem with this is it looks so simple, and it is simple, that especially we train a lot in martial arts, and we've been doing things the hard way all the time, then to try to relate to it being simple is a bummer. Because then we might look at ourselves and go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't see this before, but it's all there. These are all keys Mythos used to teach me. In his text, he refers to, in my text, this is the octagon. That's the peripheral vision. Wherever the sand, okay, zigzag patterns are all in here. I can find them. Of course, I wrote the book for the Kosho and the Shorei table of contents. They're all wrong. But you deal with the same exact patterns. And they were all started out by Mythos as jumping patterns upon skates. Let me ask you something else. When I was with some of the people that were criticizing Mythos, one of the criticisms were that all Mythos like to do is escape. Well, Mythos and I both laughed about this. What are you doing when you're blocking? You're escaping. Every time your opponent moves on you and you move to escape. If you do a block, you have to block from an escape posture or position. Otherwise, your block isn't going to work. This is the only zigzag here. Basic stepping and movement. Okay? Now, a lot of my students don't understand this, but this is where this all comes from. Your opponent always seeks center. Okay? He always seeks to go to center. What we do is we learn to move to the half left or half right, which represents a zigzag pattern. You move twice, he's coming here, you're always going to interfere in his body motion or transition. Your hips move because they're circular in nature. You guys won't understand this right now, but it'll be in the middle of eating a Dunkin's donut or something, and you go, oh, I got it. Okay, but unfortunately won't be anybody to talk to there. But that's how this stuff hits you. This is all I'm doing. I'm not doing any different than if I did this. Okay? See, because look, see, I step here. The octagon works because if I step in this posture, this forces this man to go where I was last. As he turns to hit me again, start turning, I step again. Where is he now? He's right where I was last, isn't he? I bring my foot out, what happens? Puppy runs in.